to the drawing board. I can already see all of the people on the web being like, you're stripping the screw. This is an IKEA drill from like 10 years ago. I'm working with what I have. I do not know if that is good enough. Let's try that again. Good morning. This is one of those mornings where I just feel like the universe is really testing me. You guys saw what happened just a minute ago. Whole computer fell out from the tray. Luckily it wasn't damaged, like thank God. And then my oatmeal exploded in the microwave. And then after that, my coffee machine is just like not really working well. So I'm under caffeinated. Half of my oatmeal is splattered all over the microwave. And I almost broke my computer all before 9 a.m. It's just one of those days, you know? The goal today was to film a desk tour. I feel like this is the first desk that I've had in a really long time that I really like. Like I'm really starting to like everything that I have. There was always something wrong about my desks. When we lived in SF, my desk was probably about a foot shorter in width, the tabletop. The tabletop was a whiteboard, which was sick. I loved that desk. I can link it down below because I do think it's a really great desk. I just wish it was a little bit longer. But when we moved here and I sort of set up this like nook in the family room to be my office, I was like, I want to try a little bit harder and really make this space what I want, especially too because I'm, you know, now definitely remote. When we moved into this apartment, I was like waiting to hear back from Facebook about an offer and I wasn't quite sure if I got it. And so I was like, okay, hold off, see if you get the offer and then do whatever you need to do with your office. So once I got the offer, I was like full steam ahead. So yeah, I made a couple big tweaks and I'll walk you through them all in a little bit. I think I just need to sit here for a minute and make sure that this tray doesn't fall off again. And I'm gonna eat my oatmeal. Cheers to the half that is in the bowl and not in the microwave. But I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Something that I love about my new desk setup is my walk pad that I use. I try to do it like an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon. Sometimes less, sometimes more. It also depends on like what I'm doing for a workout that day. If I'm doing a run, I won't walk as much. But if I'm doing like a lift, I'll try to do like 2 hour-long walks, AKA 2 hours of walking throughout the day. And I go pretty slow. Like right now, I think I'm on like a 2.5. I guess slow is relative. So I typically go on like a 2.5, something that I can like type and actually focus while I walk. So it's not like a speed walk. It's not like I'm really like hustling, you know? It's more just like keeping my legs moving. But I really noticed that it improves my energy throughout the day. Like I used to really fall victim to like the 3 or 4 p.m. slump, where I would just lose all motivation and be very tempted to just procrastinate. And I don't really feel like I have that anymore because I'm just like moving more throughout the day. It also really helps me focus. Like the act of moving, I know some people pace while they think, and that's how it feels. Like it helps me think because I'm like moving through the thoughts. So yeah, love this walk pad. I got it on Amazon, I'll link it below. And it comes with this handy dandy little remote so you can change the speeds and turn it on and off. The one downside to the one that I got is that it does stop after 40 minutes. So you do have to start it up again, but that's such a small thing. I like that it comes on wheels so you can roll it back to wherever you store it and it doesn't scratch up your floor. All right, so let's talk through everything that is on my desk. We have the Studio Display XDR monitor. This was probably a very frivolous purchase. I don't really need it. I justified that I needed it because of the industry that I work in and being in design. That being said, I think a lot of other monitors are really wonderful too, so I probably really didn't need this, but I keep it docked on the fully monitor ergonomic arm. I also have the base that you can buy with the Studio Display XDR, the stand, but I wanted to try something new and kind of free up some extra room on my desk right here. Because when you have the stand, it kind of takes up a solid chunk of desk real estate. So I swapped out for the ergonomic arm. And then other than that, you'll see I keep my desk very minimal. So the tabletop itself is from IKEA. It's this sort of, I think it's bamboo, honestly, tabletop. And then I have it mounted on the fully sit-to-stand legs. This is not the set that you can program and sort of like save heights. So you just have to hold it to put it up and down, which is fine. And other than that, it's a very minimal setup. So you guys will have seen me install this bad boy. This guy goes underneath your desk and allows you to sort of dock your laptop inside of this tray so that you kind of save the space on your desk. You don't have to dock it there and you can just use your monitor. I go back and forth. Sometimes I like this and sometimes I like having two displays. So I'll bring my laptop up to the desktop and use both displays. It kind of just depends. The biggest downside to this current setup that I have is that I don't have speakers. So if I want to, you can kind of still hear out of the laptop speakers even when it's closed, but I typically use my headphones and I have my AirPod Maxes always on my desk that I can use for calls and stuff. I also have this Logitech magnetic camera that I use for video calls. And that comes with, you'll see right here, comes with a cool little software that you can adjust like the angle and how wide or narrow the lens is and everything for your video calls. So typically my laptop is under there. This is my work laptop. It's the M1 MacBook 16-inch Pro. I did notice, I will say, I did notice a difference in this monitor when I upgraded to the M1 chip. I used to have an Intel Mac, and when I would run Figma, I could not run it full screen on this monitor without it lagging. But when I upgraded to the M1 chip, I can now run Figma full screen with no lag. So I've noticed a big difference since upgrading the laptop. Other than that, the desktop is really minimal. I typically use the Magic Mouse from Apple. I also use the Magic Keyboard. This is the kind with the little touch fingerprint, which helps a lot because my laptop is closed. And then I also have a trackpad on this side. I like to use both trackpad and mouse. And then other than that, this is a really cool little like whiteboard and storage container. So in here I have a phone that I test because I am in product design. I test a lot on a bunch of different devices. So I have an Android that I test on, my blue light glasses, the marker that goes with this thing, which is kind of cool. So I use that, I love that. I also keep this little cup full of pens and highlighters, a lip balm. And then over here, this is a new piece of tech that I got. I've had my iPad mini for a while, but I got this stand that is magnetic. So you can see the iPad basically just magnetizes and sticks to the back. If you want to watch like a YouTube video or draw horizontally, you can just use a stand similar to the Pro Display stand and rotate your device. So I always typically have GoodNotes open, and then I have like my weekly plan, my monthly plan, everything you might need right here so that I can just always kind of like keep track of my to-dos throughout the day while I'm working and make sure I stay organized. When I do sit, this is my chair. I got it on Amazon. I just liked it because it's white and it matches the legs, and then the legs are oak and they match the tabletop. So I felt like it just matched. It's definitely not the most like comfortable chair, but part of me is like, that's kind of smart because then I'm more motivated to stand or walk. Like if I had a super comfy chair, I would just sit all day. But when your chair's uncomfortable, for me at least, I'm more motivated to stand or walk. So it's partially why I did it. And it also kind of matches the vibe of our room. Like because my desk is in the family room, I feel like I need to keep it very minimal. I need to keep it very clean, and I need to make sure like the materials and everything match the vibe of the rest of our house. So I wanted a chair that kind of like blended in and was almost invisible, and you just didn't even really notice it. So I think that is the end of this desk tour. I hope you enjoyed it. I have a pretty minimal setup, but I like my setup a lot. I think in the future, I would definitely want a longer desk even. Like once I have a dedicated office that's like its own room, I could see myself doing like a floating desk in the middle of the room. I love how those look. And then doing like a really big desk with the treadmill like always set up so I don't have to drag it all around all the time. That could be sweet. And I feel like my setup is always kind of changing just depending on like what I'm doing. And it's very like calming and zen. And to me, that's the most important part of a good desk, is that you just feel calm and like you want to work, you want to be productive. I tend to work in like PJs or workout clothes just because I feel more productive when I'm comfortable. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any questions, I'll be sure to like leave all the products and everything in the description box below. But I love tech. It's like such a hobby of mine. So happy to make more videos if there's stuff you guys want to see. But I will talk to you later. I hope you have a good one. Bye.